Today is July 14th. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Inside Vietnam. If this is your first journey with me, then welcome. And if you have been here before, then welcome home. Today, I do not want to show you famous tourist attractions. I do not want to show you luxury hotels or beautiful beaches. Instead, I want to take you somewhere much quieter, somewhere that many travelers never get the chance to see, a place where Vietnam quietly begins. Another ordinary day, because sometimes the most ordinary mornings tell the most beautiful stories. Right now, it is just before 6 in the morning. The sun has not fully risen above the horizon. The air is cool and fresh. A thin layer of mist still floats gently above the rice fields. The roads are almost empty except for a few motorbikes slowly making their way through the countryside. This is northern Vietnam, and this is the hour when the countryside slowly opens its eyes. Many people imagine that villages are completely silent, but here silence has its own voice. You hear roosters calling from every direction, dogs barking at familiar neighbors, small birds singing from bamboo trees. Somewhere in the distance, an old diesel engine comes to life. The sound drifts slowly across the fields. Nobody seems to be rushing, yet everyone already knows exactly what they need to do. As I drive along this narrow village road, I notice something that always surprises foreign visitors. Almost every front door is already open, not because people forgot to close them, but because in many Vietnamese villages the morning belongs to everyone. Neighbors greet each other before breakfast. Children wave at anyone passing by. Someone is sweeping the front yard. Another family is watering flowers. Grandparents sit outside drinking green tea while quietly watching the village wake up. Nobody planned these moments. They simply happen every single morning. The smell of the countryside changes every few hundred meters. Sometimes it is freshly cut grass, sometimes it is wet earth after last night's rain, sometimes it is this sweet smell of ripe jackfruit hanging over a garden wall, and sometimes it is the smell of living rice. Not cooked rice, but green rice growing peacefully across endless fields. If you have never stood beside a Vietnamese rice field early in the morning, it is difficult to explain how it feels. The wind does not simply pass over the fields. It paints them. Millions of rice plants move together like gentle waves on a calm ocean. There are no bright colors, only endless shades of green. Light green, deep green, golden green, where the rice is almost ready for harvest. These fields have fed generations of families. Many people here have worked this same land for hundreds of years. The fields belonged to grandparents, then to parents. Today, they belong to their children, and one day they will belong to the next generation. As I continue driving, I slow down for an elderly woman riding her bicycle. The basket behind her is filled with fresh vegetables, morning glory, long beans, eggplants, bundles of fresh herbs. She is probably heading to the local morning market, not a supermarket, not a shopping mall. Just a simple traditional market where many sellers have known one another for decades. As we pass each other, she smiles, no words are spoken. Only a warm smile sometimes. That smile says everything. I hope you have a wonderful day. One thing I love about rural Vietnam is that kindness is never in short supply. Even complete strangers acknowledge each other. It is perfectly normal for someone you have never met to wave at you, to invite you in for a cup of tea, or simply ask where you come from, not because they are being nosy, but because hospitality here is part of everyday life. As the sunlight grows stronger, more motorbikes begin filling the road. Most of them are carrying much more than people. One carries bags of animal feed. Another carries baskets of chickens. One family transports freshly harvested bananas tied to both sides of the bike. I have even seen people carry refrigerators, large trees, and entire families on a single motorbike. For many Vietnamese people, a motorbike is not simply transportation. It is a family car, a delivery truck, a work vehicle, and a symbol of freedom. Many foreign visitors laugh the first time they see this, but after spending a few days in Vietnam, they quickly understand why it works so well. The roads are narrow, the villages are close together, and life here never stops moving. Soon the road becomes even smaller. Now it is just wide enough for two motorbikes to pass. On both sides are peaceful ponds filled with lotus flowers. Some flowers have already opened, others are still waiting for the morning sun. The lotus is one of the most beloved flowers in Vietnam. It grows from muddy water, yet it rises above the surface and blooms with incredible beauty. Many Vietnamese people believe the lotus represents their own spirit. No matter how difficult life becomes, people continue to live with dignity, with kindness, and with hope. A little farther ahead, an elderly man stands beside a small fish pond. He slowly throws fish food into the water. He is not looking at a phone. He is not rushing anywhere. He is simply enjoying another peaceful morning. Perhaps that is something many of us have forgotten. Modern life teaches us to hurry. The countryside teaches us to notice. Notice the gentle wind, notice the songs of birds, notice the changing colors of the sky, notice the people around us. Sometimes happiness is not hidden. Sometimes happiness is simply slowing down. By now, the village school has started welcoming children. Students wearing clean uniforms arrive one after another. Some ride bicycles, some sit behind their parents on motorbikes. Many still look sleepy. Yet almost every child smiles outside the school gate. Parents do not stay very long. One quick goodbye, one final wave, then everyone returns to work. Life here follows a rhythm that has existed for generations. Simple, predictable, honest, and perhaps that is exactly why it feels so peaceful. As I leave the village behind, the road opens once again. The sun is now fully above the horizon. The morning mist slowly disappears. The rice fields begin shining under warm golden light. Looking around, it is difficult to believe that Vietnam is now one of the fastest growing economies in Asia. Because out here time still moves gently, the cities continue to build taller buildings. Factories continue producing millions of products every year. But the true heartbeat of Vietnam still lives here among these rice fields. These quiet village roads, these warm smiles, and these ordinary mornings. Maybe this is the Vietnam that the world deserves to know. And maybe this is why I keep coming back to these peaceful roads. Every single morning the road continues to stretch gently ahead. The morning sun is now a little higher. Its warm light slowly washes over the rice fields, making every drop of dew sparkle like tiny diamonds. From a distance, the fields almost look like a green ocean moving softly with every passing breeze. This is one of my favorite moments of the day, not because something exciting is happening, but because everything feels so wonderfully ordinary for many people around the world. Mornings begin with alarms, traffic, and crowded trains. The day begins with naturally wind becomes the first greeting. The birds provide the first music. The rising sun quietly reminds everyone that another day has arrived. As I continue driving, I notice a group of farmers already working in the fields. Most of them wear wide conical hats, famous hat that many visitors immediately recognize as a symbol of Vietnam. It protects them from the hot summer sun. It keeps the rain away during sudden showers for generations. This simple hat has become part of everyday life. Many families still make them by hand using bamboo and dried palm leaves. Design has hardly changed for hundreds of years. Sometimes the simplest things survive the longest. Farmers move slowly through the rice. There is no shouting, no loud machines, only quiet conversations carried by the wind. They know every corner of these fields. Some of them have walked the same narrow paths since they were children. Their parents worked here, their grandparents worked here. They continue the tradition. Rice is much more than food in Vietnam. Rice is history, rice is familiar, rice is patience. Savory grain represents months of careful work preparing the soil, planting young rice, managing water, removing weeds, waiting through storms, waiting through hot sunshine, and finally harvesting. What nature allows, nothing happens overnight. Perhaps that is why people here understand patience better than many of you. Not far away, I see several white ducks swimming through flooded fields. They move together like one large family. The farmer gently guides them. Using only a long bamboo stick, ducks happily search for insects while helping keep the fields healthy. This relationship between people, animals, and nature has existed for generations. For it has its place. Everything has its purposes. I slow my motorbike. I hear laughter coming from a small wooden bridge. Several children are standing together watching tiny fish swim beneath them. School does not begin for another hot hair. Backpacks rest on the ground beside their bicycles. Instead of staring at phones, they are throwing little leaves into the water, pretending they are racing boats, and little boy cheers as his leaf reaches the other side first. The others laugh. Nobody wins anything, nobody loses anything. They are simply enjoying the morning. Watching them reminds me how simple happiness can be. Sometimes all children need is clean air, open space, and good friends. Many visitors ask me if life in rural Vietnam is difficult. Answer is not simple. Many families work very hard. Many wake before sunrise every single day. Some still earn very modest incomes. Life is certainly not luxurious, but wealth can be measured in different ways. Some people have expensive houses but never know their neighbors. Some have expensive cars but never eat dinner with family. Here many people may own very little, yet they know every family in the village. They celebrate together. They help each other during difficult times. When someone builds a new house, neighbors often come to help. When someone gets married, the whole village celebrates. When someone loses a loved one, nobody grieves. Our community is still alive here. As I enter another village, the smell of breakfast fills the air. Simeon is making fresh noodle soup. Another family is grilling pork over hot charcoal. Steam rises from large metal pots sitting beside tiny roadside kitchens. Plastic tables and little stools begin filling with customers. Workers stop before heading to factories. Farmers enjoy a quick breakfast before returning to the field. Students laugh together before school. Breakfast in Vietnam is rarely eaten in silence. People talk, they smile. They ask about each other's families. Food here is not only about eating, it is also about connecting. An elderly woman notices my camera and waves with a bright smile. Proudly points toward her pot of soup. Even though we have never met, I already know what she is trying to say. Come and have breakfast. This kind of invitation is surprisingly common throughout Vietnam. Hospitality does not require luxury. Sometimes kindness is simply offering someone a warm meal. As I continue down the road, I pass a small family temple standing beneath ancient banyan trees. The building is modest. Its walls have faded after years of rain and sunshine. Fresh incense quietly burns. Inside, a few flowers have been placed carefully on the altar. Many Vietnamese families continue this tradition today. They believe remembering ancestors is a way of remembering who they have past is never completely forgotten. Every family carries stories from previous generations, stories of hard work, stories of sacrifices, stories of survival. Perhaps that is one reason family remains so important. Hurry a little farther ahead. I stop beside a river. Water moves slowly, reflecting the blue morning sky. An elderly fisherman patiently waits beside a bamboo fishing rod. He has no expensive equipment, no electronic device, and the experience collected over many decades. We exchange smiles. Neither of us says much. Sometimes silence between strangers can still feel comfortably. Across the river, I watch a small wooden boat carrying vegetables toward the local market. Long before modern highways existed, rivers Connected villages throughout Vietnam. Even today, many communities continue using boats for daily life. Water has always been part of this country's story. Rivers bring life for its needs. Waterfish need water. People depend on water. Without rivers, many villages would never have existed. As I ride again, I begin noticing colorful gardens beside almost every home. Banana trees grow beside mango trees. Papaya hangs close to the ground. Lemongrass grows beside chili peppers. There are no perfect lines, no carefully designed landscape. Engineering grows naturally. Together, many families do not need to visit supermarkets. Everyday fresh vegetables, fruit, herbs, and spices often come directly from their own gardens. It is a lifestyle that feels surprisingly modern, even though it has existed for generations. Living closer to nature has always been part of rural Vietnam. The road becomes quiet once again. The only sound comes from my engine and the gentle windy look across the endless green landscape, and realize something visitors often ask. What makes Vietnam special? Some expect the answer to be beautiful beaches. Others expect ancient temples, a delicious food, and yes, all of those things are wonderful, but I believe the real beauty of Vietnam lives inside ordinary mornings like this. It lives in the farmers who wave as you pass, and children laughing beside small rivers, in grandmothers preparing breakfast before sunrise, neighbors greeting one another without expecting anything in return. It lives in quiet moments that many people would normally overlook. Because once you slow down enough to notice them, you begin to understand that Vietnam is not only a place you visit, it becomes a feeling you carry with you long after you leave. And perhaps that feeling is the reason so many travelers promise themselves they will return one day. By now the morning is fully awake, the sunlight is warmer, and the village roads are becoming busier. Motorbikes quietly pass one another. Children ride their bicycles to school. Small trucks loaded with fresh vegetables slowly head toward nearby towns. Everything moves at a calm and comfortable pace. Arrive at a small village market. There are no shopping malls here, no bright advertisements, loud music, only simple wooden tables, colorful umbrellas, and smiling faces. This market is more than a place to buy food. It is where neighbors meet every morning, where old friends catch up over a bowl of noodle soup, where people ask about each other's families before talking about prices. An elderly woman carefully arranges fresh vegetables picked only a few hours ago. Morning glory, eggplants, furs, herbs, green banana. Sniffing is wrapped in plasters. Everything comes directly from the nearby fields. Just a few steps away, another family is selling sweet tropical fruit, mango, slicrangens fruit. The colors make the market feel live-near. Man slowly prepares Vietnamese coffee. Using a small metal filter, coffee drips one drop at a time, and nobody seems impatient. Here, even making coffee is part of enjoying the morning. A group of elderly men sit together drinking green tea. Some laugh, some simply watch the world pass by. Friendship Here does not need a special occasion, it grows through ordinary mornings like this is. I leave the market, I see a young girl riding her bicycle, with a bouquet of fresh lotus flowers in the front basket. Smiles before disappearing down a quiet village road. Moments like this cannot be planned, these simply happened somehow. They stay in your memory forever. Further along the road, a herd of water buffalo slowly crosses in front of meth farmer follows behind, carrying only a bamboo stick. Years ago, these animals helped plow almost every rice field. Today tractors have replaced much of their work, but seeing buffalo in the countryside still reminds many Vietnamese people of their childhood. The road becomes quiet again. A gentle breeze moves across the endless green rice fields outside. Many homes, farmers spread fresh rice under the summer sun to dry. Children laugh somewhere in the distance. A dog sleeps peacefully under the shade of a tree. An elderly couple sits outside repairing fishing nets together. They hardly speak after so many years. They no longer need many words. Their hands move naturally. Their quiet teamwork says everything does. I continue my journey. I begin to realize something. People often ask me what makes Vietnam special. Some expect the answer to be beautiful beach. Some think it is the delicious food. Others imagine busy cities and colorful lanterns. But after another peaceful morning like this, I believe the real answer is much simpler. Vietnam is special because of its people. Becau's kindness still feels natural, because neighbors still know one another. Becau's families still eat together, because traditions are quietly passed from one generation to the next. Buildings may become tall earth, roads may become wider. Country will continue changing every year, but I hope these peaceful villages never lose their gentle spirit. Cows among these rice fields, these small markets, and these quiet smiles lives the true heart of Vietnam. Thank you for spending this morning with me. Hope this journey helped you see a side of Vietnam that many travelers never experience. Until next time, take care of yourself. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you always find beauty in the ordinary moments of life. See you again on another journey inside Vietnam. Before we end today's journey, I want to leave you with one simple thought. Vietnam is not only a country of beautiful landscapes, it is a country built on simple moments. A farmer starting work before sunrise, children laughing on their way to school, neighbors greeting each other with a smile, families sharing meals after a long day. These are the moments that truly tell the story of Vietnam. The country will continue to grow. New cities will rise, new roads will be built, but I hope the quiet villages, the green rice fields, and the kindness of the people will always remain. If you ever visit Vietnam, do not only visit the famous place. Take a small village road, sit down at a local market, drink a cup of Vietnamese coffee, slow down for just a little while. You may discover that the most unforgettable memories are found in the simplest places. Thank you for spending this morning with me. Hope this journey helped you see the real heart of Vietnamantal. Next time, stay safe, keep exploring, and I will see you again on another journey inside Vietnam.